Hello dosto, welcome to szdatatech. In this video, we are going to discuss on subqueries. What is subquery? So, if we want to use one query result into another query, okay, then we can use subquery. So there is a situation where we can't achieve the solution by executing a single query. Okay, in that case, we may require one query result into another query. Okay, and then we can get a desired result. Now this subquery is again one kind of a select statement. Okay, and this select statement we can use as a part of another query. Now this another query, or we can say this outer query, could be your select statement or insert statement or update statement or delete statement. So we can say something like there should be some select statement, and under this your subquery would be there, or there should be some delete statement. Under this delete query there would be your subquery statement, and this subquery statement is again one kind of select statement. Okay, and one more thing, I have used this parenthesis while providing this subquery to this select statement or this delete statement. There is one more insert statement is also there. So we are using parenthesis to providing the subquery to outer query. This subquery could be part of any clause. Like here I have provided subquery types. So subquery in select clause, subquery in from clause, or subquery in where clause. So if we say select star from table where condition. So here if we say select part, so subquery would be here. Okay, when we say subquery in from where clause, then it could be here in replacement of table name. Okay, and subquery in where clause, so it could be here. So in condition we can provide subquery. Let's go to next slide to understand it more detail. So subquery in where clause, so we can say here select star from product where category id in this subquery would be provided. So it is provided under where clause. Now let's understand what it is doing. So if we wanted to read this SQL statement, let's go from inside to outside. So here inside, what this subquery is doing, select category ID from category table. So it is collecting category ID from category table. So we can say we are getting list of category IDs over here. Okay, but there is one more condition they have added. So they have added a where clause, and in that where clause they have added the condition like category name should be from this set. Okay, so it could be either beauty and personal care, or convenience products, or media and entertainment. We'll get a category ID from this list which are satisfying this condition. Here we are getting one list of category IDs. Now what we are doing, we are providing this category ID list to this where clause, where category ID in. For this in, we are providing this list statically. Okay, whereas for this in, we would get all the category ID list dynamically. Okay, and then we are getting the list of products from product table. Okay, let's move to next slide. Subquery in from clause. So here if we see select star from, and rather than providing the table name, we are directly providing this subquery. Okay, and for this subquery we are providing the name category by price. So here we can say this category by price would be the table name, which would be created on runtime. Now how this table would be created? So it would be created using this subquery. And what are the columns would be there in that particular new temporary table? Category ID and this sum of product price. For this sum of product price, we have provided alias as a total price. So we would get two columns. One would be category ID and another one would be total price for this category by price table. Okay. So anyway, here you just have to understand we are using this subquery in replacement of table name. Now subquery in select clause. So here if we see select statement is there, under select star is there, and then from is there. And if you see inside the select and from, you can see this subquery is provided. Okay, now what this subquery will do, select sum of product price from product. So we will get one single result. So it will calculate the sum of product price from this product table. So if we say there are 1,000 products inside this product table, here we will get a sum of product price of those 1,000 products. Okay, so we can say we will get a single result over here. Let's assume sum of product price is 100 rupees. Okay, now select star. So star means all the columns from category table. So now let's assume there are two columns are there in category table, column 1 and column 2. Okay, then there would be third column provided in this resultant set, that is total price. So here you will get total price. If there are 10 categories, then we may get those categories like this. Okay, and their names 1 C2 C3. Now we have here 100 as a single value. So this single value would again provided to each row. Same value would be provided. Okay. So this is how this subquery would be worked over here under select clause. Sometimes we require this type of statement to do some further activities on this result. Nested subquery. So as we discuss, there is a outer query, and under outer query there would be subquery. Okay, but there are chances that in this subquery there would be one more subquery, like here we have provided. We may call it as a child subquery. Okay, so we can say under outer query we have subquery, under subquery we have child subquery. So this kind of hierarchy is created over here. So for this concept we are calling nested subquery. That is, if subquery contain another subquery, then we will call it as a nested subquery. So here we can say that this child subquery will provide result to this parent subquery, and this parent subquery will provide result to outer subquery. Okay, and then finally we will get output result. Okay, correlated subquery. As we discussed earlier, if we want to use one query result as an input to another query, then we can use subquery. Now here, if we say correlated subquery, it accepts input from outer query. Usually there is outer query, and it was using result of subquery. Okay, but now if we say correlated subquery, this subquery is depend on outer query. Now, one more concept is here. So let's say suppose for this outer query, select star from products where product price equal to, and it is providing this condition. If we say this outer query is providing 5 rows, okay, only this statement, okay, then for each row it will execute this subquery. For each row it will execute this subquery, and that's the reason we also call this subquery as a repeating subquery. So we have seen correlated subquery, and subquery which we discussed earlier, that is called as uncorrelated or normal subquery. Okay. Now let's discuss the difference in between correlated subquery and uncorrelated subquery. For this uncorrelated subquery, we can also call it as a normal subquery. Okay. So we have provided this difference on the basis of these concepts like dependency, execution, and performance. Let's discuss about the dependency. So we can say in case of correlated subquery, inner query would be depend on outer query. Inner query means we can call it as a subquery. So subqueries depend on outer query. Whereas in uncorrelated subquery, we would say outer queries depend on inner query, that is subquery. So outer queries depend on subquery. Now next concept is execution. From execution perspective, if you say if it is a correlated subquery, then that subquery execute multiple times as per the record list of outer query. Whereas if we say uncorrelated subquery, then subquery execute only once, and whatever the result is there, that result would be provided to outer query, and then outer query will execute and provide the result to user. Then next point is the performance. So since subquery is executing multiple time, and that's the reason in correlated subquery performance is inefficient and little bit slower, whereas in uncorrelated subquery is executed only once, and that's the reason performance is also little bit faster and is a efficient one. Let's do some practical to understand this subquery in more detail.